That's caught. Randall Cobb into Chicago territory. Randall Cobb inside the 20-yard line. Randall Cobb is going to score.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of Open Book here on Game On Wisconsin. Looking like our final episode of the dead season before we get ready for training camp. So it's a little bit of a finale, kind of exciting. If only there was more news going around. But before we get to any of that, Jen and Zach, I know it's only been a week, but I feel like it's been longer for some reason since our last episode. So I need you guys to fill me in on what's going on. I'll just ask Jen so we don't waste any time with that.
Thank you for that. Yeah, save me the work.
I mean, you know what's going on with me, hockey.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was the Stanley Cup – oh, it started? Oh, so you got game two
Game two will technically start at 7, but puck usually drops maybe like 10 minutes after said time.
All right, buckle in, folks. It's going to be a hockey episode.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Hey, Wisconsin fans should be happy because each team has a former Badger on it. So either way, Wisconsin Badger fans win.
All the Wisconsin Badger hockey fans in the chat, please raise your hand.
There are obviously some.
Well, I'm sure there are. But, I mean, look, college hockey, well, I don't know. I'm honestly sure it's like regular hockey, but in college, very exciting. I didn't even finish my sentence.
Jesus Christ.
I literally, Jen's coming in hot today. And once we're getting heated, let's talk about a tweet that had a lot of Packers Twitter a little bit heated today.
Oh, yeah, I guess nobody cares about how I'm doing. That's fine.
Oh, Zach. Yeah,
well, whoever answers first, the next person never gets to actually say
that's actually
how
true.
things are going.
Yeah, what the hell, Eli? I'm
Zach,
kidding.
How's sunny California?
Bad host.
I'm kidding. No.
And your new mic, what is that, a Shure? A nice Shure mic?
You had the mic last week.
Yeah, you're switching up mics every week, guy. I can't keep track of your mics.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, oh, yeah, this is the same one I had last week. Yeah, last week was the first time I used it. It arrived perfectly on time for Matt Ramage.
For Matt, perfect timing. Yeah, that was actually a great episode. If you missed that and like watching just silliness and great knowledge, definitely go back and watch last week's episode. Interesting.
All right, jumping right into it, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, look, we were going to talk about this tweet, but I guess let's talk for a minute about Davante Adams, Derek Carr. There's been, some, not like a back and forth, but Derek Carr, he mentioned something that he would recruit him very hard. I think the term full court press or something was used. So, and then, Davante said, I'm a Packer right now. I don't want to dabble in the future, as I think what he said. So what did you take from any of that, Zach? If it means anything to you?
I mean, I think it means anything as far as, they're good friends. That's really what it is. They've been good friends since college, since Davante Adams got there in 2012. So they've already developed this close relationship. So, it's not like Adams is going to be like, no, I don't want to go play with Derek Carr. Screw that guy. I don't want to go play with the Raiders. So, whatever goes on. It's on the table. It's a possibility. I know nobody wants to hear that. Don't squint your eyes at me.
Me?
Yeah, you. Oh. No, Eli. He looked like, because I said that, and then he was like,
no, I had something in my eye.
Yeah, imagine losing Rodgers and Adams.
Wow, Jen. What a great imagination you have.
That could be the future that comes to fruition. Aaron Rodgers' decision is going to be like a heavy influence on whether or not Davante Adams wants to come back. I don't know if they'll work out an extension within the next 9 months. So if he hits the market, then everything's on the table, and obviously his old Fresno State quarterback would love having him there.
Well, I feel like it would have been weird too if there weren't those conversations between them, because obviously they have that friendship and relationship. And when the Packers and Raiders played, I think it was preseason, and Rodgers took Jordy, Carr took Adams, and they were playing catch with each other. So obviously they have that relationship. So when I first saw that, I was like, okay, this isn't weird and out of nowhere. It's not like it's Josh Allen or someone like that saying, I'm going to recruit Adams hard. It's his friend. Of course he wants to play with him, and of course Adams going to kind of reciprocate those feelings. So I think it's just, given their relationship, it's not out of the ordinary for them to have this conversation. It's just kind of, with everything else happening, it just, adds more fuel to people's fire.
It's content. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's content, especially for like Raiders media. It opens up the floor to all kinds of speculation. So
the Raiders don't have much else to talk about, and overall, I mean, NFL people are looking for any headline right now. So
hey, I was able to do a story on it this morning, and there's like nothing else. There's nothing else to write about, so I was like, sure.
Yeah, you'll take it definitely. Yeah, check that out on Packer Report. It was a great piece by Zach this morning. But
well, thank you, Eli,
for the morning crowd.
Yeah, for the morning crowd.
Yeah, if you're more of a night person, don't read it. You'll hate it. But if you like the morning,
that's what I meant.
I know.
Specifically in the morning. So if it hits 12 o'clock where you are, then don't read it. You're gonna think it's shit. Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly. But yeah, like Jen said, I mean, and kind of both of you, I agree. Like Davante, like he's going to have to make some kind of response to his former quarterback, and it wasn't going to be a negative one because that's just not Davante and not really what anyone would do. So I'm not overly worried about it. Like, I still think Rodgers will be back, and I think as long as Rodgers is back, Adams will be back. I think they'll kind of have to regarding their contracts and making extensions and making it actually work. So
Eli, if you could only bring one back.
Oh man, you're gonna do that to me right now?
I am. Yep.
Look, man.
Lose Adams to the Raiders.
I love Davante, but Davante can't throw himself the football. So
I don't know that.
So both of them would still we lose them to the to the AFC West, right?
Well, Aaron Rodgers would both.
Aaron Rodgers would be a Bronco. Davante Adams would be a Raider.
You're so funny. What do you guys
cry so badly right now?
What do you guys think about? I mean, again, for me, I don't really know if there is a price tag on Aaron Rodgers, but is this to either one of you that price tag? Derek Carr and 3 first for anyone who cannot read the screen.
I don't know. Derek Carr to back up Jordan Love, kind of a weird concept.
So he tells me that wouldn't be the case.
I mean, 3 first is like where you start the conversation.
Well, that's the thing. 3 first, I think, would be the base of any conversation. Then it's like, what quarterback can you give us or players? But probably a veteran QB, because I don't think the Packers are fully prepared to live with Love and Bortles.
I mean, if they think Jordan Love is like the starter, I mean, which that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at right now, going into training camp. Jordan Love is a starter. So in a world without Aaron Rodgers, I think Jordan Love is your starting quarterback come September 12th. So for as much as we know, maybe they won't even ask for a quarterback. Maybe they are content with Jordan Love and Blake Bortles, this guy who has regular season and postseason experience. Maybe they're comfortable and confident with just those two guys. And Kurt Bankert, obviously, is your number 3 quarterback. But yeah, I mean, regardless, the conversation starts at 3 first. Then you got to move down to another premium pick, the 2nd, and then you got to look at that roster and like, which guy do I want back? And Cleveland Farrell would be a great.
At Stafford. I mean, Stafford. I mean, that's your floor, and obviously you're building a lot on top of what the Lions got for Stafford. So, what the Lions got 3 first and Goff, who was a former number 1 overall pick, and didn't they also get like a 3rd? Like the Lions got a ridiculous haul
pick,
for Stafford. So I mean, I don't even know why we're discussing an Aaron Rodgers trade. That's just
it was the comment.
I know that is true. That's kind of why, but yeah. I guess it does start at 3 firsts, and then depending on the players, I guess that's where the conversation would go. But yeah, I feel like if they were confident enough to not get a quarterback and stick with Love, maybe they would have traded Rodgers already, but also maybe, they didn't get a chance to see Love until the last couple of weeks. So a little bit back and forth.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I saw it too, don't worry.
We'll put it up on the screen.
There
you go.
Friends, yeah.
Oh, that's
Goody. Good luck. If you get stuck with Blake Bortles, we'll come looking for your body eventually. But so what we were originally going to speak about, and also regarding the AFC West, but a different team, clearly Zach's new favorite team, I guess, the Broncos, who he so eagerly wants Rodgers to go to week after week, putting in my face.
Coming from the guy who, like, before the show, he was like hyping up Chicago.
Hyping up one player.
Yeah.
Said the Sears Tower is better than the Empire State Building.
I heard bear down. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I said. You guys are right. I've been faking it this entire time. No, I can't even fake
Friends
that.
close, enemies closer.
All right, but let's have a quick discussion here. What do you guys? I mean, should I say who the tweet was from? I mean, I guess the people who could see it. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the hot thing on Packers Twitter right now.
I mean, if they tweet it out for the public to see.
Yeah, if you go on Twitter at TFG_football, he decided to quote tweet the picture, that famous picture of the Packers 2011 offense featuring Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, James Jones, Randall Cobb, and Jermichael Finley. Excuse me, a lot of names, a lot of good players. And then this guy decided to retweet it saying Sutton over Jennings, Jerry Jeudy over Jordy, which is just...
That's where he lost me.
Fans over Finley.
Specifically, he said specifically 2011 Jordy, which I think Jordy how many touchdowns that year?
15.
Yeah.
15 touchdowns. So, yeah, I mean, look, I would love Jerry.
I do think he went and he said, I meant 2012 Jordy or something like that. But either way,
yeah, that was when he went to the PFF grades, which we won't get into. But then, then we have Noah Fant over Finley, which I don't know if I really agree with. KJ Hamler over Randall Cobb. Nope. Tim Patrick equals James Jones. What a slap in the face to James Jones. This guy has killed it in the NFL. And look, Tim Patrick has made some nice plays. I know who he is, mostly because of fantasy football. But James Jones, Tim Patrick is not James Jones.
Is it the next one that's going to bother me the most?
And then the next one, Driver was washed. You don't talk about Donald Driver like that. I don't care if he's 67. He's never washed.
We do not welcome any kind of driver slander around here.
Saying that he was washed was like straight up disrespectful, and it showed like a lack of understanding for who Donald Driver was. 2011, I mean, he wasn't good. You know, he wasn't like his old self. But I mean, Donald Driver, like 2011 Donald Driver,
wasn't he in a boot during the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he was. He hurt his leg in the Super Bowl, or his ankle. Yeah. If you took 2011 Donald Driver, he would be like wide receiver 2 on the Broncos right now.
Yeah, he'd be behind Sutton. Like, Judy's still your big play guy, but Jeudy wouldn't be more consistent than Driver, because Jamie, you missed
Jamie's
it.
here. Welcome back.
If you go on Twitter at TFG_football, I mean, Marcus Whitman, you put this post out there, and I'm sorry that you're getting so destroyed, but it was just a really stupid tweet.
I'm sorry.
It continues too.
To finish off the tweet, he says, "Got to remember, Aaron Rodgers developed all of these guys. Really don't think he could do it with a more physically talented group in Denver." Basically saying Aaron Rodgers made those receivers are who they are.
Even though some of them were there before he even became a starter. So
Greg Jennings was already a good player with Brett Favre. Like, he was already a more than known name. Obviously, he was a good player.
If anything, at that point, Rodgers was lucky to have someone like Jennings as a better receiver to be throwing to.
Driver from 2008 was not in any way close to washed. But overall, I mean, look, does having a better quarterback help you as a receiver? For sure. But all these guys showed that they had real talent.
It takes both to be as good as that group was.
If you're a shit receiver and you can't get open or you can't catch the ball, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to fix that. You have to be good at being a receiver, and Aaron Rodgers is going to complement that by putting the ball right there. But if you suck at being a receiver, your quarterback isn't going to turn you into a great receiver. So I don't agree.
If anything, he'd probably stop throwing to you.
Yeah.
So. And then this guy goes and makes a whole ass video trying to explain his tweets and trying to like argue his reasoning.
I didn't see the video.
I didn't watch it either. Someone sent it. Yeah, someone sent it in my mentions, and they were like, "Oh, he actually makes some good points." Blah blah blah. It's like one of his stupid cronies or something. And
I think this guy is like located in Minnesota. So sorry, everybody.
I guarantee 90% of that
Minneapolis.
Video. Oh, really?
The guy who made the tweet, yeah.
Oh, I mean that tells us everything we need to know.
I didn't know that.
I guarantee you 90% of that video is just him reciting the Pro Football Focus grades. And if you ever bring up, I said this before the show, but I want to use it again. If you ever bring up Pro Football Focus grades in any argument, then you already lost that argument, and that's the way it is.
No, I mean, yeah, that's usually your last straw that you're grasping at, because no one really understands PFF grades. Like, it's nice to be there when you need an argument, when the box score and the tape aren't giving you the argument you're looking for. So then you could fall on PFF and be like, oh, but PFF said he was really good, even though his box score numbers are shit, and I watched him play and it didn't do anything. But PFF said so. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that, Zach. But, yeah, just kind of a funny, not really funny, more just odd tweet. I don't know. I mean, also, I would assume
whatever, he got his clout.
No, but to let's say be like, okay, Aaron Rodgers in Denver, imagine this group, and every Bronco fan and every person who keeps talking about Aaron Rodgers to Denver trade loves to ignore the fact that they're going to lose most likely Jerry Jeudy in that trade, and most likely a key defender, maybe Bradley Chubb, I don't know, someone, but at least two players that are very important to that team. Everyone's like, oh, we'll get Rodgers and we'll keep our entire team, and then we'll just be amazing. No, you're going to trade a large portion of, number one, your future, obviously, but then also you are going to have to give valuable assets right now that will make your team worse. So it's like one step forward, two back, or however that goes.
They're trading pretty much, if that were to happen, they'd be trading the entire nucleus of their team for a 38-year-old quarterback who will need to step in and learn a new system. Again, approaching the latter end of his 30s, the twilight of his career, more than likely, who has to learn an entire new system and establish a sense of like familiarity, some chemistry with whoever the hell they have left after they trade Jerry Jeudy and whoever else. So, you're getting the reigning MVP. That's great, but that's reigning MVP 2020 Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur's offense. You're getting someone else. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers would be in another system, or in Denver, outside of those familiar walls.
Yeah, I mean, when he's throwing to Sutton and Patrick and I mean, look, I believe Aaron Rodgers, he'll help. Obviously, he'll always look good, but no, it's a totally different thing. Like, the idea that the Broncos would keep this great group of weapons and their amazing defense all while getting the MVP is just silly to me, and it's annoying when people keep bringing up these proposals.
Well, and you also have to look at the offensive line he'd be behind too. I mean, I don't know what Denver's offensive line looks like, but as an older quarterback, the Packers are really good at keeping their O-line consistent throughout the years, throughout his entire career, keeping him safe. So that would also be a huge factor in his success as he ages, obviously a little less mobile, and taking those hits takes a little bit more of a toll on him these days. So you'd have to have the right protection in front of him.
Yeah, and we know the Packers have a great offensive line, and whenever Bakhtiari's back, but we know that line is solid. Of course, assuming Josh Myers steps in for Lindsley pretty well, which I'm confident in. But guys, so this being our finale of the Dead Zone, as they call it, and when I say finale, guys, we'll just be taking one short week off, and we'll be back before training camp. So it's not like we'll be taking any kind of extended break. But we've realized, we're coming up, Zach, we might have already passed a year since our first episode, or we're coming up on it. And
we're coming up on it. We recorded that first one like last week of August, I think.
Yeah, so we're getting close.
We're getting there. Yeah.
And we realized, we've never really talked all that much about ourselves and kind of how all three of us, Jen included, became Packer fans, none of us living in Green Bay or even Wisconsin, and just kind of, some of our favorite moments, players, games, stuff like that. And I think, considering me and Jen are just a short ways away from Wisconsin, and you, Zach, are so damn far away, we got to know how you became a Packer fan, like how that happened.
Oh, so I'm going first. That's
I was gonna say, how do we want to do it?
Oh,
do
no,
we want to?
That's too late. I let us and Zach.
He already, yeah.
So is it like, are we strictly asking Zach questions right now, or popcorning, or?
I'll lay the groundwork, and then whatever you guys want to do.
Zach laid out on the floor for all of us. We'll figure it out. No,
Eli. Whoa, this is a kid's show.
That's not what I meant at all. You sicko, but go ahead.
All right, Zach, you have the floor.
So my mom was a really close friend with one of the beat writers in the 90s who covered the team. His name is Tom Kesenick, who I actually interact with on Twitter now. We're pretty close. He covered Super Bowl 32. He helped co-write a book called Return to Glory. It was pretty much a book written in the mid 90s about the 95 Packers, and it led into that Super Bowl season. So it was written before the Super Bowl, before 96. So he wrote that book, or helped co-write, sent a copy to my mom. And then I'm like 4 years old, by the time I finally get my hands on that book, I believe. And I'm like reading this book, and as I get older, obviously I'm not reading the whole thing, word for word. I'm like a little kid. I look at their uniforms, and I'm like, because remember in the 90s, the Packers, they had several stripes on their uniform sleeves. There's something about
yellow,
it.
white, yellow.
Yeah. It was like the aesthetic. I was just like, wow, this is so dope. I fell in love with that uniform, and throughout the years growing up, I actually started, because there were pictures in the book, and obviously, me being a kid, I'm like, that's all I need.
Are the best part of any book. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
He read the book, he says. He just looked at the pictures.
At first, I looked at the pictures, but then I got older. I actually started reading it, and I learned more about the team. And then I told you guys before about my weird addiction with creating rosters in Madden. And because you would get the game, and they would be missing certain players. Like I remember Madden 2000 and Madden 2006. They didn't have Sam Congato.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know, it's a travesty.
Yeah.
They didn't have Sam Congato, and I was like, what the hell? This guy's like tearing it up right now with Amon Green out, so I want to make him. So
I'm gonna play God. Yeah, go ahead.
And then I would recreate other rosters. I would recreate the 96 roster, the 97 roster, and I was just like, I was really weird. So that was really where my passion stemmed from. It was that book, and then being able to watch Brett Favre play. Like, I know Brett Favre, he's kind of like, he's an asshole now, but I mean, Brett Favre, the player, though, that was where my love for football stemmed from. Watching him play and just seeing all these highlights, and like, wow, this guy just plays like he doesn't give a shit. That's the best thing in the world. And it just grew from there, And then obviously that led into the whole writing thing. So
I mean, from a book, I mean, that's interesting though. I mean, from to come off the jerseys in a book, usually, I mean, I don't know. I love the Packers jerseys, but for some reason, I feel like you either love them or hate them. They get a lot of one way or the other. Oh no, Zach getting called out by Mrs. Westbrook for loving.
Hey, whoa! I love Brett too. He's the reason I love this sport. So I think she's agreeing with me. Thank you.
Insight to your past.
So you weren't a football fan before, so like you were a Packer fan first, and then became a football fan, or like?
Well, it kind of happened like simultaneously, because Brett Favre.
It's actually the word I used. I was going to ask if it happened simultaneously, but.
Wow, that is.
I'm just
attacking me for no reason.
No, I'm just saying like that's how I wrote it. So. I'm glad you're answering it like that, because that's how I originally asked it. Now. There we go. Exactly. So defensive right away.
It kind of we're used to you attacking us, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at you. It kind of happened simultaneously. I mean, first it was like the Packers, and then growing up, I was like, who the hell are these guys? And that was when Brett Favre, he was still not in his prime, obviously, but he was like the last 3-4 years of his career. So, his career with the Packers.
You always forget that last part when you say it.
We like to forget that.
Pretend those last 3 years never happened. Yeah.
Sucks when you live where it happened, but.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Hey, that 2009 season, love your hat, Jen. It looks good on you.
Oh, thank you.
That 2009 season is like, I know everybody hates it because he was a Viking, but it's like one of my favorite quarterback seasons ever.
Shut up. No. I don't know what was it, 2000? I assume it was 2009 when he threw the basically Hail Mary like to Greg Lewis in the back of the end zone.
Yep.
That play infuriated me to such. I mean, looking back on it now, like I'll just appreciate, the craziness of the play, more of just a football fan, and it's 10 years ago. But I remember that day just being so unbelievably pissed off that they won, because I think it was like week 3, and we were probably 2-0. The Vikings were 2-0. You wanted them to lose, and they went on the last play of the game, Favre to Greg Lewis, who like never caught another ball again, for as far as I know, and they won the game. Damn.
It's Eagles legend Greg Lewis. Show some respect.
What, he went to the Eagles after that?
No, I think he was with the Eagles before that.
I don't know. I literally, Greg Lewis, I only know him from that one play. Just because also the call, I will give, I don't know if it was the Minnesota guy or the TV guy, but the call on that play was pretty fantastic.
So
the Vikings right now.
I know. So should we just stick with Zach then and just kind of keep going through with him?
Before we go on, I want to get that book really fast.
Yeah, go for it.
The book that started it all. All right, so I'll be right back. You guys, converse amongst yourselves.
Well, we weren't gonna sit here in silence.
We're just gonna watch
I can see your
and
mouth
wait.
moving, but I can't hear you.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, while Zach's getting the book, I'd like to state that I don't really read books. No, I actually did read Donald Driver's book, which I think I mentioned on the show before. And if you haven't read it, Driven, you should, because it's really his whole.
I have a habit. I love buying books, and then I never read them.
That's the weird. Who buys books? Like
I love going to Barnes & Noble and looking in the sports section, and then I buy the books that look interesting, and then I never actually read them.
Oh.
I don't know. I just like having them so that if I decide I do have the time to sit down and read, then I have options.
No one ever takes the time to sit down and read, though.
Barnes & Noble's a cool place. Plus, they got like the Starbucks down there, so it's like
you sit down, you get a coffee, you pretend to read when it's like really like, why am I in a bookstore right now?
Oh no, I just go pick out the book and leave.
You don't even get the fun part of Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble's.
I mean, I look around it, but I specifically go to the sports section and I look for the hockey stuff and the Packers stuff. That's it.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard to read about sports like being played when like like that you could watch it being played. It's usually more fun. But Zach, I'd love to see the cover of this book so I know in the future.
You said it was 95?
It was on the 1995 team. So
okay.
Return to Glory. Yeah, that's a pretty.
So Kevin Isaacson with Tom.
And you got the fat fanny packs they used to wear. Those are great.
Yeah,
I might have that book.
Nice. If you do, then I mean, there
I'm not sure.
Actually, this
Borders.
All right. This guy.
I know Borders, Jamie.
Are you guys gonna know about Borders? Who remembers? Oh, Borders.
I think
I remember Borders.
Man. That was around for a minute, and yeah, I did some dumb things at Borders. I'm not going to say on air. Go ahead, Zach, or whoever.
The right Borders.
I am. Trust me, I could do dumb things anywhere. Jen, don't underestimate me.
So I misspoke. This actually got to my mom in December of '97, but by the time I got it, I was like 4 years old. So by the time she got it, I was 2 years old. But yeah, and there's like a very small. It's mostly words, but there's a very small section where there's like
it's mostly words. It's a book.
10.
Wow.
It's like a 200-page book. There's a lot of words to it.
Well, I'm just saying the picture section was all in one spot, so the pictures weren't scattered across.
That's my favorite section. Like
Is it like the nice laminated one, though, so you know where to go? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Eventually, you just rip them out.
Yeah. Whoa! I didn't ripping nothing out. Come on.
You're like gonna start tearing up books. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm not.
But yeah, this was it. This started everything.
That's cool. I knew most of that stuff, but I've never heard about the book before, so that's cool.
Yeah,
you mentioned the jerseys. I didn't know that's how you saw them.
Yeah, as something as stupid as that. Just the jerseys.
Sorry,
that's it.
Jamie. Can't do it.
Spill the tea, Eli. Oh, you're sick. I don't want to hear Eli's tea.
Is a part of my past that I like to keep in my past, and it wasn't even my fault. So really, we should blame another person for the whole.
What do you mean it wasn't even really your fault? What happened? Like, did you kill somebody inside of a Borders?
No, it's classic stupidity. I'll just say what I mean. It's not a big deal. Borders, I mean, they couldn't even come after me considering they don't exist. But no, I just sat around while like all my friends would go in there and just shoplift like on the daily. And I was, I'm like, you're stealing like books and like pens though. It's like, is it worth it? Like, did you win?
Books are expensive.
too bad you don't steal a book.
No, I'm just saying it's not like they were.
But also, you know what, maybe they ventured into, you know, the magazine section. Maybe they shouldn't have. Oh wait, where's our map, Jen?
Yeah,
so
Jen.
I can talk about borders.
You're
and
one to
all
yell,
my
Zach.
clients.
You were supposed to get the map.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
don't know where
From
Belgium
Bergen,
is.
Norway.
Bergen. Sorry, I didn't
Norway.
read it because I had this in front of me. I'm
Norway.
guessing it's somewhere in here.
Well, it's definitely not.
Or wait,
North
I think I might be in
America.
the wrong country. I think it's over here.
Yeah, you were definitely
AR-12,
just in Russia.
whatever your real name is, you're going to be on that map pretty soon.
Yep, you'll have a nice pin here.
We're gonna.
I gotta
find
update it. I'm
there.
missing a lot of the pins that Eli sent me. I have to put on there, but
I sent.
I
you
have us
pins?
on there.
Did you just say that I sent you pins?
You sent me the places, like your list of where I need to put pins.
I was like, if I somehow bought and ordered and sent you pins and I don't remember that, then I would get really nervous. But AR-12, welcome from Norway. That sounds awesome. It's not Norway, but I'm obsessed with Iceland. So if Norway and Iceland are like the same thing, let me know in the chat, and then I'll come visit you.
No, they're not.
You don't know. Norway and Iceland could be the same, but different. But back to our original discussion. So, yeah. So Zach, from a book, but so you never really had an LA team then. You never. I mean, that was just your first team.
Yeah, California has a lot of teams they could have influenced you with.
Yeah, it never came close to happening. Which, you know, because my dad's a Rams fan, and I think I told you guys before, he's been a Rams fan since they were originally in LA, like when they were in Anaheim. So I'm surprised that didn't get passed down to me somehow. I was able to correct myself and steer down the right path.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, I'm a fan of like pretty much like, you know, every other LA team except when it comes to football. You know, like I like the Lakers, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Their stupid ass name.
Is that really what they call them? The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim?
They used to be the Anaheim Angels, then they changed them to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I don't think it's long enough. Why don't you just write a book for your name?
That's what she said. Never mind.
Oh, telling me it's a kid's show. Unbelievable.
I know, I'm a hypocrite. Sorry.
Yeah.
But in the Anaheim Ducks.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry, Jen. Sorry, it took me so long.
I was going to say the Kings, but no, the Ducks wouldn't make more. But screw the Ducks because they changed from wearing the movie jerseys, which would have been the best way to go.
Yeah,
should have started that forever with the quack and the face mask.
They also should have been in Minnesota because that's where the movie takes place. But
okay,
you know
Jen,
what?
Relax. No one here likes Minnesota. But
Jen, no one wants to go to Minnesota.
Now that you've brought up Minnesota, I guess I'll have to ask, how is it that you from Minnesota in gross Vikings land became a Packer fan? Boom, I told you Norway and Iceland were almost the same. Some similarities. Oh, they have volcanoes are pretty cool. I am a fan of volcanoes, but I could live without them. So Norway, I might just come visit you because that whole region of the world just seems like a fun place, like Iceland, Norway, Belgium. I don't know if any of those three places are near each other, but they sound like they're probably near each other. Thank you for the info, AR-12. Appreciate that. But yeah, Jen, I mean, growing up in Vikings land to be a Packer fan, not easy.
My story is much less cool than Zach's, much simpler. I mean,
mine's not cool.
You're like, I got this book that basically, like, I have this physical thing that shows where the origin of my fandom started. But mine is just my dad's from Madison, Wisconsin. He grew up there, so it was kind of inevitable that was going to get passed down to us. My mom is from Illinois, so it could have been worse for me. But luckily, Dad won that one, and I don't know. It's I grew up wearing Packers clothes, Packers gear. Like, I have baby socks with Packer helmets on them. So I was influenced from a very young age. I remember, I think at some point in elementary school, asking my dad why we don't cheer for the Vikings when we live here. And he told me that if I ever cheered for the Vikings, he would disown me. And I was probably like 7. So that was like the last time I ever questioned that. I remember being like, I was digging in the fridge for something, like for a snack, and I just asked him. He's in the other room, and he, basically threatened me. So never questioned again, and thankful that he obviously did that because I would have grown. Yeah, I could have been influenced by other people, but I mean, I grew up going like so he ended up moving here with my mom. So all their sports legions and whatever are with their respected home states. But I grew up in Minnesota. I've lived here basically my whole life, except for when I lived in Green Bay for school for 4 years, which was fun. But it helped a lot that my dad's best friend from Madison also lives in Minnesota. So they would host a lot of Packers parties. So even though I didn't really understand what I was going over there for, I didn't always watch the games or pay attention. I still understood kind of like the culture, and I got to see what it meant to cheer for them. And I still have a lot of fun. We still go over there because they are still here. So I kind of just was lucky enough, even though I grew up in Minnesota, I still had a lot of Packers culture around me. So it wasn't until my freshman year of high school. So I think that, it just so happened to be the Super Bowl year. I got really lucky with the first year. I really started to dive into it because I had watched the Packers and I had no idea really what I was watching except for the score. That was really the only thing that helped me understand if they were winning or losing or how they were doing. But then that 2010 season came around and I just kind of decided, hey, I really want to invest myself. I would ask my dad all the questions. I'd watch every game with him, like what everything meant. And I just kind of learned throughout that year. And obviously ended up being a really fun year because they won the Super Bowl. My first year actually heavily invested in it. So my standards were super high from that moment on. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun too.
There's been a lot of disappointment since.
Yeah, I got lucky. I'm also glad that I really decided to invest myself that year, because if I would have waited later, then I would have missed that whole run and how fun that was. And obviously
you would have just seen all the painful losses without at least getting the win in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your dad saved you from a life of misery.
If my mom's side, they think that they can still influence us with Bears stuff, doesn't work. They finally gave up.
It was 15-7. I think a lot of people were talking about this game today. It was 7-0 Cubs. And then
in the first inning,
14 straight runs. So it was like the Packers-Bears kind of situation. Cubs, you suck. Go Sox.
Go Angels.
Southside all day.
Go Twinkies.
Oh my gosh. I know you're not a Twins fan, but you say Twinkies.
I am a Twins fan.
Well, then you should not have just said the word Twinkies.
We call them the Twinkies.
I didn't even know that you were talking about the Twins.
No, I've heard them call that
the Twinkies?
by
Sox Twinkies.
making fun of them. To actively call them the Twinkies as a fan, that's a bold move, Jen. I don't know if I agree with it, but
sorry, I don't.
No, it's cool. To be honest, I got a little bit thrown off by the comment section, but we actually, Jen, kind of have a pretty. Zach, you trying to say something?
No.
Your hand was like gesturing towards the camera.
I was gesturing at first, and then I was like, "Oh, he's still talking," so I just stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, Eli interrupted me to talk about baseball, so I guess he can talk about his story now.
Wow, that's what I was doing. The whole segment was baseball to me. That's what I was trying to get to.
Well, I was gonna ask, because you got into like the whole Packer fan thing like a little later than most people, like 2010. So like, have you been like picked on over that by people who know? Like, have they like, oh, you haven't even been a fan for that long? I'm curious because social media and like Packer fans are really like, oh, I've been a fan since 1972. I've seen them do this and that. What have you done? So,
hey, I technically have lived through 2 Super Bowls, but I was like 7 months old during the first one.
We all can say that, can't we?
Yeah, I think we all could.
I know. I just barely made the cut though, I feel like.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, I just missed 3 Super Bowls.
I guess like I say that a lot here, and then I forget when I say it to you guys also are Packer fans who like when I say that here in Minnesota, like, I've lived through 2 Super Bowls, it means a little something more because they've lived through none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Not really. I haven't really. Maybe people don't know. Maybe they think that whatever. I mean, I watched Brett Favre. I watched those games.
But what about just in
I
general?
didn't understand them. What?
Like it's just Viking fan. Just do you in general just get a lot of shit for being a Packer fan in Minnesota?
Oh, 100%. I went to the gym yesterday to sign up, and I was wearing a Packers sweatshirt, and she's like, I don't know if we can let you in here. So it's no matter where I go, if I'm wearing any kind, either people give me weird looks or you find that other Packer fan, and then you create this really unique bond when you find another Packer fan in enemy territory. So like throughout school, I had my go-to Monday morning group of friends that's really at the basis of our friendship was talking about the Packers. So we had somebody to either celebrate or sulk with. And I appreciate those people for getting me through those years. But yeah, I mean, I grew up getting picked on. It was whatever. And then I moved to Green Bay because I needed to get out of here, and it was awesome. And now I'm back in Minnesota. I have a new mentality though. So I mean, it was hard, when you're a little kid and you get picked on for the thing you like. But
that's why I was curious because like dudes like Paul from Sheboygan gatekeep the whole fandom. So I was genuinely curious.
Yeah, sorry that I wasn't watching routes in '97.
I don't know, but real quick,
I just made that name up.
Oh, if you made okay, so that was a specific ass call out. But yeah, Vikings, your whole skull chance is a fraud. No one cares about the Vikings in Norway.
Yeah, they do that skull chant because the first team to play a game in the new US Bank Stadium was a soccer team, and they did like that thing.
No one started that. It's that young. That whole stupidity is that young.
Oh yeah, they only started doing it when US Bank came.
Oh my! So why is that even? So literally, it happened. They had that 1 year that they had the miracle with Diggs, so it became a huge thing because of that one playoff season.
Yeah, I go to Wild games and they do it, and it makes me sick.
That makes sense because now that I think about it, like going back to like late 2000s games like in Minnesota, in the Minneapolis Metrodome or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, it would never happen now that I think about it. I never heard that chant.
Pepper were never scolding people, or
they had the horn though. The horn's been around for
a while. I can't. No, that horn is horrible. Makes my ears bleed. But
I hope you never heard it. Oh well, maybe you have. If you've have you been to the stadium yet?
I have not. But I mean, they play it loud enough on the radio and on the TV and everywhere. So.
I try not to really watch Viking games unless, of course, the Packers are in them. So I avoid that horn as much as I can. That sounds weird. But before you, Jen, you said you had some friends who were Packer fans, and kind of you'll meet that one Packer fan in the crowd, which reminded me of a really fun
one of them still follows me on Twitter, which is cool. Like never really talked anything outside of Packers. But if people bullied me on Twitter like 10 years ago, he would come in and
that works.
Basically tell them
Twitter around 10 years ago?
What?
Was Twitter around 10 years ago?
I don't know. You know what I mean?
I know.
They created it in like 2006 or something.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, because I've only been on Twitter for like 2 years, actually.
Whenever in high school, fine, like 8 years. We'll go with that.
No, but what I was going to say was that I was at Lollapalooza. It was whatever. Some music
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza.
I think it was Lollapalooza. It might have been whatever, but I was there. It was a wild time, obviously, and I'm in Chicago, and I was wearing probably this hat even, and I saw some guy wearing not a jersey. I think he had like a Packers backpack on. Never met the guy. I was like, that's my guy. Like, that's going to be my guy for the day. And just me and him just rolled throughout most of the festival, just being Packer fans. And we're like, we're just going to chill together because it just feels right. But yeah, Jen, I mean, I guess, you started in 2010. So what, you were probably, you were like already in your, like,
I mean, I feel like I don't know if I have to keep clarifying, but I was a fan. I got into it in 2010. I need people to understand that.
Eli doesn't listen to anything you say.
Yeah, you guys never pay attention to.
No, I mean, you guys. I said Eli. I'm trying to single out Eli here. Okay, don't bring me into this.
Me out for once. I just want to get singled out. No, but you threw me off my train of thought now that you said that.
Yeah, she always attacks us.
Oh yeah,
derails.
2010. No, because Jen, like for me growing up, like you said, you would go to school and you would have like a clique of friends that were Packer fans. I did not know a single human being in my life outside of my brothers, my dad, and one of my dad's friends, this old guy, who are Packer fans. My whole life has just been people who, I mean, they're Bear fans technically, but they're not even football fans. It's even worse. It's the kind of people who they don't root for the Bears. They just root for the Packers to lose to make my life.
Oh, those kinds of people.
Like, legit, the Bears could lose 45-0, and the Packers could lose in triple overtime if that ever happened. And the next day, still, just attack. So the Packers lost. It was like a rule in our house. Me and my brother, we did not go to school on Monday. We couldn't. It was walking into just an all-day
like the gates of hell.
Yeah, it was insane. People would bully the crap out of us because we were a Packer fan. I mean, they hated us so much for it. The joy that they would have in seeing the Packers lose is like more joy than I get when the Packers win. And I get pretty joyful. So Bear fans, that's how sad you are, is that all you have to look for, like me and my brother still, I mean, in our community, and we have some friends around here, they don't care about the Bears, because if they cared about the Bears, they'd be miserable people. But they care about the Packers, and every Sunday, if not every, considering the Packers have 26-6 over the last 2 years, but 6 times over the last 2 years, I got some really inappropriate and unsatisfying texts and calls on Sunday nights.
Oh yeah, I never open messages from.
Just say our names, dude.
Your names?
I said just say our names. The implication being that we're the ones
that we're harass you.
Oh, well, you guys just harass me. It doesn't have to be Sunday. That's every
we just
day.
do it live here on Open Book.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so yeah, I'm happy, Jen, you didn't get as much bullying, and you actually found friends that are Packer fans. Because in Chicago,
one of them, I had gym with him, and during the units, it was ultimate frisbee. I can't throw, but I can catch. So he would throw, and I would catch the frisbees in the end zone or whatever you called it. So we called ourselves
pretty damn far.
We called ourselves, the Jordy Rogers duo of ultimate frisbee. So that was always I don't.
Yeah,
you know how important that was for me? I needed those moments to get through high school.
Jen, you should have shaved your head like a buzz cut, like Jordy. That would have been.
I tore my ACL like him, so that's good enough.
That got dark. All right.
People told me they're like, I know you love Jordy, but you don't, because I tore it after him. They're like, you don't have to be exactly like him.
Look, I'm not looking for a torn ACL, but if it makes you feel closer to Jordy, maybe I'll take that.
I also broke my collarbone like Rogers, so.
Nice. So you're just stealing all the injuries. Thanks.
Exactly. Yep. But anyways, you go, Eli.
Yeah, you're up. Oh, you can answer Javier's question first.
I don't know. Are you talking about the movie, The Book of Eli? Is Mila Kunis in that movie?
Yeah.
I know Denzel's in it.
I've never seen the movie.
I thought you saw the movie and got the name.
I did. No, I saw it. I saw it like 15 years ago. I didn't realize it was Mila Kunis. How did I not? I love Mila Kunis for multiple reasons, not just.
Yeah, well, I love Mila Kunis. So.
Jordy. Yeah, there we go. Jen.
Oh, Jordy. I know. That's how we have that connection, because we both love Jordy.
But yeah, I have a pretty similar story to Jen, honestly. It comes from my dad. Like Jen, early on, I decided to test the waters, before I realized how important it was. They'll be like, the Packers lost or something. I think I said that once. And I just remember being in the backyard. I remember saying a comment. My next memory is being in the backyard. Remember, I live in Chicago in the winter, very cold, and then being back in the house. So I think there was basically, I made fun of the Packers. They were like, get out. I left. And then they said you could come back under these terms and conditions. They probably forged my signature on some kind of lifelong contract, but I'm happy that happened.
Your family exiled you.
It's a good thing Zach's dad is much more chill than our dads are. Zach might be a Rams fan right now.
Zach, you would definitely be a Rams fan. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that. I don't know how you
I mean,
escaped that team.
I would have been fine with that. I mean, they would have won a Super Bowl in my lifetime. They lost. They
That
lost to the
Super Bowl
Patriots. Then lost to the
is
Patriots again.
ridiculous. But
But you
that
know
last
what?
play,
I would have been cool with that. I mean, they had the greatest show on turf.
you would have been too young to.
Then you would have
appreciate
never
it.
met us, and that would
Yeah,
have been
Zach,
sad.
you would just be talking to like Rams people all day. Ugh. Packer
Well,
people are so much better.
In that alternate universe, Eli, you became a Bears fan, and Jen, you became a Vikings fan.
No, that's not.
'Cause it was
I could have been a
Dad
Bears fan, and Eli and I still would have been friends.
got him.
No, you would have been a
But
Vikings
my mom's
fan.
a Bears fan growing up.
But you live in Minnesota territory.
Oh,
But
so
you're
if I'm
talking
influenced
alternate
by that,
universes.
Yeah, so then Eli, you live in Chicago.
I'd
obviously,
probably
so
be
you
one of
would have been a
those
Bears fan.
dumbasses that you're making fun of on your show.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably actually.
Zach,
You would have
yeah,
given
you
us
know,
the content. We'd be dunking on you, and
Yeah, Zach would like retweet that picture of the Packers and be like, Cooper Kupp is Jordy, Robert Woods is better than Jennings, Gerald Everett's better than Finley, Tyler Higgins. Yeah, okay, exactly. I'm not going to go through the whole Rams offense like Sean McVay might, but yeah, I mean, living in Chicago as a Packer fan, I will say there are a ton of Packer fans here because we are so close to Wisconsin, but no one that I know personally that I'm friends with. So it's tough. Like Jen said, everywhere I go, like I actually do think where I'm going and whether or not, let's just say, for instance, this hoodie, should I wear, because like sometimes I don't want to deal with it. Like I went golfing a week or two ago and I was wearing a Packer shirt. Next thing you know, I'm stuck in a conversation with a guy about how Aaron Rodgers is definitely leaving the Packers and he was driving me nuts. I'm awful at golf as it is, but he did not help my game. I think I shot a 240, way over par. And this guy, the whole time, is like, "Oh, Rodgers, he's done. He's leaving." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know your name, but I'm going to push your golf cart over, and you're not going to be able to get up because you're 77." He was driving me nuts. I'm sorry.
stupid old man.
Yeah, if I was thrown in prison for elder abuse over an Aaron Rodgers fake trade, I'll take it. You don't come at me on the golf course. I will take my putter right into the sun don't shine. You know what I'm saying?
I got I get the same type of comments every day at work from some guy that just works there, some temp worker, and he always every day I get the same thing. Rodgers been traded yet? Rodgers showed up to training
So
camp yet?
annoying.
And like, no, it's training camp hasn't even started yet.
I would get that guy
Fucking-
fired.
Yeah.
We got anyone in the chat, we'd love to hear your origin stories. And yeah, we got another book fan, Zach. What is taking an AR test? Is that an Aaron Rodgers test?
Probably some kind of like online Aaron Rodgers test. Like how well do you know Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh, I feel like
Wait,
if I
so-
took that test and didn't get 100, I would hate myself. But what were
You
you going to say?
wouldn't. You wouldn't get 100.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
Oh, come on.
You
where's
hate
the
yourself
confidence?
anyways, though, so it's fine.
Wow, Jen's just really coming out hot today. It's fun. That's a good-
I don't
So-
get to next week, so I have to do double this
No, I
week.
get it.
So you got to empty the clip, pretty much.
Yeah,
You got to just unload everything.
empty that clip. Yeah.
So to be clear, you were forced into this life.
it was never. Yeah, I was not asked for these powers; they were given to me. It was that kind
Okay,
of deal.
all right. You know what? Shut up, Eli.
These powers.
But I will say a funny story. My mother, she's actually from Israel, so she doesn't really get a lot about American football. Well, now she does because we've had to teach her as much as we can. But she one day picked up, and it almost entered our house. My father, thank God, was outside and stopped it. She had a Brian Urlacher jersey in her hands. First off, we're like, wash your hands. Like, don't pick me up. I was a kid, but I'm like, get away from me. But that jersey doesn't come in the house. So my dad's like, I'm going to burn it. And I'm like, that's obviously a great idea. Let's burn this Brian Urlacher jersey. And then thought of a better idea. And I had this friend who's a Bears fan, and he had a signed picture of Brett Favre that he didn't care about. He just didn't want me to have it. Again, Bears fans are awful and miserable people. So I traded him. I gave him this Brian Urlacher jersey that I have. It was about to burn. And I got a signed Brett Favre poster for it. So it actually kind of worked out pretty well.
So are you thanking the Bears?
No, I'm thanking my mom's terrible decision making. But
So in turn, you're technically thanking the Bears because her terrible decision making led to that jersey. So
Yeah, fine. You know what?
God, you're such a dick. Oh,
yeah, that's why I did
God.
that. It bothers you. But that felt so good, by the way. My neck is a new guy.
My neck is a new guy, you motherfucker.
No, but damn. Oh, yeah. So real quick, but just because I want to make fun of my mom and I'll make her watch this. The night the Packers won the Super Bowl in 2010, obviously, my dad, I was in South Bend where I was in high school. My dad actually drove up to South Bend and we watched it together. One of my brothers was at somewhere and another one, we were all split up. It was very weird that we were not together for the Super Bowl. It was just me and my dad. My brothers were separate. And then my mother was at a play for something, like my sister's play. And basically in middle of the play, and it was like at some hotel, and in the lobby they had the Super Bowl on, obviously. It's like silent in the whatever where you do your plays. What's it called? The
auditorium.
Auditorium.
Yeah.
And my mother watches the last play of the Super Bowl in the lobby and just jumps up and down, screaming and shouting, not realizing the entire auditorium can hear her. And yeah, she came back in, and everyone just turned around. Like, who is this crazy lady shrieking at the top of her lungs in the lobby? They thought someone was murdered, but no, it was just the Packers winning the Super Bowl. Great
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah, I have a video. If I could find it, I'll send it to you guys. Me and my dad at the last play. No, it's funny. Yeah, our reaction is definitely. Yeah, it was great.
That's not even embarrassing. Screw all those other people. They don't get it.
Yeah, they don't get it. And I was so prideful. Like, I felt so happy that like she was at a play and she left the play to go watch the Super Bowl and then go insane in middle of the hotel lobby when the Packers won. It was like, Mom, you got it. You got it. I remember that Black Eyed Peas. They were pretty bad, if I remember correctly.
Oh my gosh, I remember. So that halftime show was so bad, and I remember before it even, like, obviously, Usher came in, and before that, probably a few minutes before, my older sister, she's like, "Man, I would have given my life savings if Usher was at this Super Bowl halftime show." And then he shows up, and she was so. I mean, obviously, she would have never gone. But
what are the odds?
It was, yeah, it was. It was
weird.
wild. It was funny.
That was like for me when they did the SpongeBob halftime 2 years ago, after the SpongeBob guy died.
Bubble Bowl thing. Wait, what?
Yeah, it was the Bubble Bowl.
Yeah, the
After
Bubble Bowl.
who died?
The creator of SpongeBob.
The creator, yeah.
I think it was the Rams Patriots Super Bowl, wasn't it?
It was. I have no idea.
Patriots or Rams Patriots. It was Rams. It couldn't have been.
I think it was Rams Patriots.
So, either way, but it was awesome the NFL did that. But yeah, the Black Eyed Peas, I mean, I was too stressed even because we were up 21-3 and then Hines Ward catches that touchdown before half. And I could already feel it. I was like, okay, we're in for a long night. Mike McCarthy loves to take a big lead and then just bleed it away as much as he can. Dallas, enjoy that for another 4 years. But guys, this was a really fun episode, like just to get our backgrounds. Like, I learned stuff about both of you guys that I did not know before. I hope you guys did the same, and I hope everyone who watched.
I'm sure there'll still be like thousands of stories that.
Oh well, yeah. If we sat and talked about all of our favorite stories regarding the Packers, we would be here for a long time, and maybe we will be off air. But unfortunately, we do have to head out for this week. And like I said, this is the finale for the Dead Zone. But again, it's just 1 week off. We'll be off next week, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, getting ready for training camp. Hopefully, some Aaron Rodgers news, maybe some Davante Adams news. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But before we do that, make sure tomorrow night to tune in here on Game On Wisconsin to the GOAT Show, and also follow Game On Wisconsin at Game On WI, and follow.
Yeah, and I do just want to say, because this is like the end of whatever, that I do really appreciate Jacob and you guys for bringing me on, because I'm going to get a little sentimental, but I do love getting to do this show with you guys every Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day it is that we're recording. So I'm really glad to have been added to your little team, and I'm excited for everything going forward with you guys.
Yeah!
We are extremely happy that you agreed to join us, because, you could have always just big timed us, because you have, Brandon Bostic and the hockey podcast and this podcast and all of the stuff you do. I mean, you might just be too busy for us, but to find all that
No.
great work I just said of Jen's, you could find it all on Twitter at BigMac_4. Zach also does work, not as good as Jen, but pretty good stuff. At it's
Zach
Zach
does way
Bryant.
better work than me, I promise.
That's not true.
I have to publish Zach's work. Okay, trust me. I mean, it's good, but Jen, I think you might have him just a little bit beat.
Hey, whoa! You don't publish my work. You just tweet it out. All right, tweeter boy.
I guess that's true.
On
Yeah.
that Bird app.
I
The Bird
do
app.
my work, son.
Okay, well, Zach's getting to that point in the show where we have to shut him down, where he gets a little bit out of control. But again, everyone, thanks for tuning in, hearing a little bit more about us, and then moving into next year, well, more like in next week. But for the 2021 season, you will know the three of us, probably more than you even want to, because, we'll just keep saying embarrassing things about ourselves, like that time at Borders, which I'm not going to get into. But any final thoughts before we head out?
Well, piggybacking off of what Jen said, she's been such a great addition to the show. She's pretty much the yin to our yang, and the show wouldn't be what it is right now without her. I mean, we would be a couple of idiots still trying to, do this show every single week.
I still watch you guys every week. Don't worry.
Exactly. We're definitely the yang. You're the yin. Yin, I guess. Yeah, yin's better than yang. We all know it.
Yeah, whichever one's better. Yeah, that's the one.
Yin and yang have been at war with each other for years. They are now together. Yin, yang. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point.
Eli's just making stuff up now to make it sound good.
Well, because yin yang is fun to say. Say it 5 times fast. You'll enjoy yourself.
Yin yang. Oh shit, that's hard.
It is
hard. Yeah.
Yin yang, yin yang. I don't want to do it.
Yin, no.
Okay.
Sound like
yin. It sounds so weird. I can't do that.
In 2 weeks, we're going to be doing some Packers tongue twisters and see who's got the best mouth on the show.
All right, sounds like Eli's going to make something for us then, it sounds like.
What does that mean? Last time I checked, Jen, we still have a rematch we have to go take place.
Because I'm saying, Zach's made a game. I've obviously made games.
Oh, you're saying I have to make. Okay, I can make.
It's your turn, Bucko.
I'm
step up. Let's go.
All right, I'll pull through with a fat game coming up after the week off. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks after July 4th. So everyone enjoy your holiday weekend. Drink beer, have fun, and don't
watch the Stanley Cup Finals
of fireworks because no one really cares about your fireworks on a video.
I thought he was talking about hockey.
I thought so too.
Okay, bye.
Rogers gets out, throws it, Cobb, touchdown!
Granville also quiet.
Rogers surveying, fires, that's caught, Randall